All right, heroes and Pasadenans everywhere, it is I, your friendly neighborhood Rabbi John Carrier, coming to you live for PJTC's RabbiChat, where you can ask a rabbi absolutely anything. Will I answer? Probably. We'll see what your question is. No, just kidding. You can ask me anything. I will probably answer it. But, you know, it's like if you're asking me, where am I? And I can't see that, I might not be able to give you an answer. In any case, really glad that you're here. We've taken a couple of weeks hiatus while I've been working on my High Holy Days sermons, and they are definitely going to be sermons. I can tell you that. Still working on them a little bit, but I am delighted to be with you today. And see, Trig Bell is already in the house. Thanks for waiting for me to start, Trig. I was trying to get a link for you all because there's something pretty exciting I want to tell you about, and there's a link for you to go to, and I can't wait for you to find what it is. But we're going to learn just a little bit more about that in the context of answering the question, what is Elul? What is Elul? You'll find out right after this brief musical interlude. Stick around. Down. How we doing, everybody? So I'm in my new place. I'm still working on my lighting game a little bit, so I'm kind of shadowy. I've got a little bit of microphone in the shot. Let me try to take this off. We'll see. Makes it feel it's got like a bite out of it because I have a dog, which means I have a bite out of my microphone. You'll probably hear her here in a minute. Let's just move that out of the shot. Nice to see everybody. Nice to be back. It's been a minute. Got some activity already in the chat. Trig Bell is here in the house. Says hi, shalom. Natalie Sirota says shalom, y'all. You speaking my language? Britain S says hello. All right, Carla Jenkins is in the house from Facebook. Hello. Got a couple of people on Facebook Live, a couple of people on YouTube Live. I'm delighted to be with you. I can't wait. It is almost Elul. The sun is going down on Av. Thank goodness. Av is, kind of a depressing month. We've got Tisha B'Av in there. We've got the 9 days of Av in there. Tu B'Av is pretty cool. It's like, they say it's sort of like Jewish Valentine's Day. It's sort of a holiday celebrating love and romance. And in some places, young couples would get matched up on this holiday, and sometimes people schedule a wedding for that day. So that's nice. It's like right in the middle. But what it means is we're creeping up on the high holidays. So I didn't mean to spoil that for you, but we are about to be in the high holy days of the Jewish year. And of course, this means that tonight Elul is coming. It's not like winter. It's not like Game of Thrones. Although there is a great Game of Thrones meme out there, if somebody could find it, of Ned Stark, I think his name was, looking kind of glum, and it says Tishrei is coming, and only rabbis get/hate this meme because it means not just rabbis. There are a lot of people do a lot of work to make high holy days special, the high holidays of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And certainly things are heating up where I am at Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center, where I'm blessed to have a job. And I just want to pause and say thank you. Thank you to this community who's watching me right now, because I know a lot of you were there for my installation this past week. And it was a beautiful thing. People, if you were there, you already heard me tell this joke many months ago when I was invited to be the rabbi at Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center. I told one of my mentors, colleagues, friends, Rabbi Dan Shevitz, that I got the job, and he says, Mazel Tov, I look forward to your installation. And I said, cool, I will send you a link. And I was joking. This was back in, April or May, and we thought all this COVID business would be over. I think a lot of people thought that. I'm not going to say everybody. I'm going to say a lot of people thought that by now we would be out of this safer at home rubric. But I said, I'll send you a link because I thought, well, ha ha ha, everything's on Zoom now. So shall be my installation. Let me just adjust my camera angle here a little bit so you can see my Rabbi hat and my WW AAD mug. Text me later if you want to know what that stands for. We had this wonderful installation on Zoom. A lot of you folks were there, and I'm really delighted you were. It was a beautiful thing. It's always nice to stand up when people are saying nice things to and about you. I also got this, where is it? It's around here somewhere. I don't know if you can see my belt buckle. I got a new belt buckle, which was kind of cool. Maybe that's in the shop, being added to my Shabbos belt. But in any case, it was a cool thing. And where was I going for that? Oh, yes. It's great to work in synagogues. It's great to be on Zoom. And that brings me to the High Holy Days, which this year at PJTC will be entirely online. And we thought a couple of months ago, we were thinking, okay, things are going to be different. How do we make it special, right? There's a lot of things about the High Holidays that we are not going to be able to enjoy that we've enjoyed before. So how do we flip that? Like, how do we make this, in some ways, how we can, the best High Holidays ever, right? Or in recent memory anyway. What are things that we can do that we haven't done before? Because we're going to be missing things that we have done before. Avinu Malkeinu, in a room with 1,000 people, hearing the shofar blast, like a dozen shofars blasting at once. Can't do that this year, at least not in person. But what can we do? So we thought about a couple of things, and we were inspired by, and this is where I answer my question for the people who think I ramble too long before I answer the questions that are the title of the video. You know who you are. I'm one of them. We were inspired by this concept of Elul. Elul, or Elul, depending on how you pronounce your Hebrew. Elul is a month of the Hebrew calendar. We have a different calendar, done videos on that before. So Elul is this month of the Hebrew calendar. It's the last month of the calendar year by counting of years. It's the 6th month by biblical calendar. It's the last month of the annual cycle. The last month before Rosh Hashanah, and Rosh Hashanah being the new year for the counting of years, Anno Mundi. And so Elul, the rabbis observed, is a perfect opportunity for spiritual growth. And how do we do that? Because Rosh Hashanah is coming in Tishrei, as we've established, and Rosh Hashanah is all about personal growth in a sense. I don't want to just make it sound like a self-help book. But the focus of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, those 10 days, the Aseret Yemei Teshuvah, those 10 days starting with Rosh Hashanah, ending with Yom Kippur, the intention is that this is a time of Teshuvah, of turning from the path that we are on, turning, hopefully that's what Teshuvah means, is turning away from behavior that we regret. Tshuva is also translated as repentance. Like, we look at those things that we did in the year that we're not proud of, that are hurting our relationships with God, hurting our relationships with each other, even hurting our self-relationship, our self-perception. How do we take those things and turn them around so that we have a better year, so that we are better people in the year to come? And this is not easy. Right? It's not just like, okay, 10 days, you focus on saying you're sorry to a bunch of people, bada bing, all is forgiven, go on with your bad self, keep doing the bad things that you were doing. So the rabbi said, this, because it takes so much work, we think it's a really powerful thing to take the month of Elul and reflect and do what they called Heshbon HaNefesh, right? Which is an awkward translation, accounting of the soul, right? Heshbon is the Hebrew for accounting, or if you eat at a restaurant in Israel, you'll say, I'd like the Heshbon, please. And they say, you mean the check, right? Because they all speak English. So that it's a check. It's your bill that's come due. And so this exercise of Heshbon HaNefesh, to be done the entire month of Elul, is so that we can take a look inside, take a personal inventory, and make plans, make decisions, make amends, certainly, but not just that. Think of all the things that we need to make amends for, the people we need to make amends to, take an accounting of, who has been asking for forgiveness that we have not found it in our hearts to forgive yet. And maybe this is the year that we can let that grudge go. But it is this kind of spiritual accounting, a reflection on the year that's passed, so that we are better prepared to go into Rosh Hashanah saying, I'm going to be a better person this year. I'm going to make better choices. I'm going to take some of these bad habits that I've been carrying with me, and I'm going to leave those behind. And that takes work. That takes focus. And so it's been a tradition for hundreds, if not thousands of years, to take the month of Elul and say, sit back, maybe pray in a different way than you prayed before, meditate, focus on those things that are getting in your way, focus on those things that are damaging your health, damaging your relationships, damaging your connection to God. Writing those things down, if that's helpful for you, and making a definite plan to turn things around. So, what does that have to do with apps? And I remember back in my day, apps were something that you got at Chili's before you got your main meal. Apps today mean, we had this idea. What if we had an app? And what if we made it an Elul app? What if we created something at PJTC where we could reach out to people and facilitate this month of Heshbon HaNefesh, this month of introspection, spiritual exploration, and a plan for spiritual growth? So we did. And I'm really excited about this. It is on the cusp of being public. I'm like literally editing the last video for it right now. Somebody had asked the question about, so did Rosh Chodesh start last night or tonight? My calendar said that it started last night, but I've seen several places say that it's tonight. This is what I love the Ask Me Anything show, because we get these great questions. And as Natalie sort of answered, it depends on the calendar. Is Israel a diaspora? I use HeapCal. So for us, Rosh Chodesh is actually, sometimes it's it's 2 days. So Rosh Chodesh started last night, goes through tomorrow night. Today is officially the last day of Av, and then tomorrow, or rather starting at sundown tonight, is the first day of Elul. And so that's why in any minute now, we are dropping this app so that people can use this app for this time of spiritual exploration. So what does that look like? When you sign up for this app, what you're going to get is daily messages of inspiration from me. I hope it's inspiring. I've been inspired in doing it. It's not just inspiring like, hey, everybody should feel good now. It's more like inspiring you to think about something. So you're going to get a daily message from me, mostly asking a question that you can then take and say, okay, what's the right answer for me? And give you a short video to sort of explain where I'm coming from with this question, teach a little Torah, teach a little bit about the Jewish holidays. But at the end of it, you have homework. And I'm not grading it, I'm not taking attendance, but it's sort of a prompt for you that you can think about the answer and internalize it. You just meditate on it, zen out for a little bit. Or you can write your answer in a journal. But a feature of this app that I'm really excited about is that it has a community feature, meaning, yes, you're going to have a page where there's a video from me and a little question of the day, but there's also going to be a link to a community forum where, if you feel like discussing it with people, this is deep stuff. So some of your answers may be pretty private, like, okay, what did I do bad this year? Do I want to tell everybody? Maybe not. If you want to discuss these questions, share your answers, or just hear people's thoughts about it in the community forum, you can. And that's what I'm so excited about. This is an experience I had in the Jew Curious School that many people here were a part of, was I thought, I'm going to teach a little Torah. What if I put a community forum on there? Just so that if people felt like griping about their teacher, they could. right? Or share recipes or dog pictures, whatever. I put it on there, not thinking really much of it. I've tried to start community forums before, didn't go anywhere, but it became my favorite part of the Jew Curious School. And the reason that I think a lot of people who are here today are here today. It's a way for people to make friends. It's a way for people to connect with friends and solidify relationships, to share ideas, just like you're sitting around a dinner table with somebody. Remember that? Sorry, that didn't mean to remind you about the pandemic. So once you get involved in this app, you'll get a daily message from me all through Elul. If you're worried about getting emails on Shabbos, I'm going to do like a Friday double thing. So you get 2 days on Fridays, so that you can, if you want to do them during Shabbos, that's up to you. If you want to do them ahead of time or do them after Shabbos, you can do that too. But you will get 30 things, and these 30 things will prompt you to think about something, to answer a question, and hopefully the intention behind these things are to push you to really get to know yourself, right? And get to know, what your values are, what your regrets are, what things you would like to leave behind as we go into the new year, and what new things you'd like to maybe take up, right? Who do you have to apologize to? Whose apology do you need to accept that maybe you hadn't accepted before? So that's the gist of it. If you want to sign up for this, it's free. It's open to everybody who wants to sign up. We actually had a discussion about that. Is this just for Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center members? And we decided no. Our watchword this year is generosity, right? How can we make the Jewish world and the Jew curious world a better place? And so we're making this open and free to everybody. You do have to sign up. We need your name, preferably your real one, your email address, just so that we can keep the community an honorable and safe place for everybody who wants to participate. And so you can sign up for this. There's sort of a sign up for a sign up right now, just because it's like itching to be live, but that's probably going to happen, God willing, before sundown, because there's a post for today. So you can sign up by clicking the link in the description wherever you're seeing this, whether it's on Twitch or on Facebook or on YouTube Live. There should be a link below this video. Click that link, you go to a sign up page, put in your email address, and then I will notify you as soon as the app goes live, which again will be probably sometime in the next hour or two. And so once I know who you are, who want to sign up for this app, I'll send you a message with the link to how to sign up. Again, it's free. You do have to play nice. It's like any community. There's rules, like people have to be respectful and kind to each other in the forum. And folks who have followed me here know that I give no quarter for shenanigans where people are being difficult with each other. So want to make it a safe, comfortable place for people to do some real serious work and also make friends and have a good time. So Trig Bell asked the question, will this be a permanent app or just for the month of Elul? So this is just for the month of Elul. Asterisk. Our goal was to put out something that's useful for the month of Elul. The questions are just about Elul. However, this is our, let's say, initial experiment with a particular format for connecting with people online called Kajabi. When I did the Jew Curious School, it was all WordPress based, and I gummed together a bunch of different technologies. Kajabi is more of an all-in-one kind of platform that we're playing with. And if this goes well, this could be the template for many more PJTC apps to come, or other learning opportunities after that. So, short answer is it's just for the month of Elul. However, if you're signed up for this app, of course, you're going to be in the know for the stuff that we're going to be getting started after the high holidays. I made a promise to my Jew Curious School students that you have not heard the last of me, or have learned the last from me, God willing. And so I really have been wanting to get some online learning together. Little did I know how critical that would be, or how much support we would have at PJTC for getting something like that going. So, sign up for the Elul app, do that work, come by and say hi in the community forum. I'm still going to be doing these live streams every week just for people who want to connect that way. But if you want to do the particular work of Elul that the sages said This is a time for Heshbon Nefesh. This is a time for getting ready for the important work of the high holidays, right? If you go into the high holidays and you don't think about the high holidays all year until like you're there handing your ticket to the security guard, or clicking on the link in this case, it's really like going into the playoffs when you haven't had a regular season. You will pull something, right? You will not have your best game, and so Elul is all about, that's the preseason, right? That's the practice. That's the work you have to do to get in shape, so that once you are in audience with the sovereign of sovereigns, once you are in the space where the book of life and the book of death are open, and you have agency in the outcome of that decision, wouldn't you like to be ready for it? If you have this amazing holy opportunity, these 10 days to really make decisions and plans that could turn your life around, do you want to go into that not having thought about it at all? Or do you want to take some time, really get to know yourself, maybe face some uncomfortable truths, but face them with the intention of growth, face them with the intention of having more kindness and bringing more kindness into the world? This is your opportunity to do that. And so sign up for this app. Let me know in the chat if you're seeing the thing. The link should be, it's like a long link with, it's like Elul PJTC, my Kajabi dot blah, blah, blah. So click on the link that's in the description of this video. You should be able to go right there, sign up for it, and then as soon as the app drops, you'll know, and you'll be able to sign up for it for free. No charge on this one, and it's open to anybody who wants to sign up, as long as you're willing to hang in there, do the work, be respectful in the forums. And if you don't see it, I'm going to go ahead, let's see if I can find that link and put it in the chat here, because it looks like it's not showing up for people. 1 second. This is the rabbi who's supposed to be good at the internet. So let me try this out. Just going to grab that link, copy link address, go back to the chat, and kablooey. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So there's the link for you. If if it doesn't appear in Facebook or YouTube or Twitch or wherever you are, let's see. Looks like it's on YouTube and Facebook. I just put it into the chat, so it might be buried a little bit. Maybe after the video, I can go back and try to append it to the description of the video. So just wanted this to be useful for you. So today we've talked about what is Elul. Elul is a month of the Hebrew calendar that immediately precedes the high holy days. But other than just being, some scribbles on a calendar, it is a special opportunity that our sages identified centuries ago for some very important inner work, as I call it in my book. Some very important time to look inside, get to know yourself in ways that we often ignore ourselves, frankly. Figure out how we could show up better in the year to come, how to make that happen, so that when we go into the high holy days of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we are ready, so that our prayers are with greater understanding and intention. I can't guarantee you a place in the world to come. I can't promise you which book you will be written in. But I can promise you that I'm going to do my level best to give you teachings and insights and inspirations and questions that can help you do your best work. So thank you, everybody, for doing this learning with me. I'm not going to sign off just yet. This is an Ask Me Anything question. So Elul is a time where you can do that kind of work. There's a link that I've put in the chat here to an app that's designed to do that. Now, I said app. You're like, that's not an app. That's a website. And the trick is that we wanted it to be available not just on smart devices, but also on browser-based systems. If you got an old desktop or something, and apps aren't your thing, you can log into this site from any place that has a web browser. You can also, there's some instructions in the app on how to get it on your mobile phone. Just in a nutshell, you download the Kajabi app, You sign into it with the same credentials that you log into the Elul app online, and you can have it on your phone. You just click the Kajabi app, go right to the Elul app within it, and you can get notifications. We'll probably send out a little nudge once a day or less frequently. We're not going to bother people, but we'll send out a nudge occasionally to make sure you're staying on track in order to help you. Carla Jenkins, so I've got a great question today. Carla Jenkins, does recorded shofar count? My answer is now it does. In the sense that what Carl is asking about one of the very important mitzvot of Elul. The other piece of Elul, it's related, is that in the month of Elul, it is a mitzvah to hear the shofar every day, except for Shabbat, because the notion is we shouldn't be making people carrying shofars on Shabbat because you're not supposed to carry stuff on Shabbat. But any non-Shabbat day during Elul, it is a mitzvah to hear the shofar. Not to blow the shofar, because it takes a special skill, but to hear it being blown. And so many, many years ago, the rabbis tackled this question of, is a recording of a shofar the same thing? And by and large, no surprises, the traditional interpreters of Jewish law said, no, it's not the same thing. You're not necessarily fulfilling the mitzvah as it was intended if you hear a recorded shofar. Does that mean that people have never put together apps where you can actually play a shofar? There are apps for this where you can get them on your phone that just, the sole purpose of this app is to make a shofar sound. and I know folks who have fulfilled this mitzvah by their understanding by playing this, because you might be in a town where nobody has a shofar. You might not have a shofar. You might have a shofar and not be able to play the shofar. It's technically like a brass instrument because it's created with that same kind of vibration. If you don't have access to a shofar at all, should you be totally left out of this mitzvah? And there are those who say that a recorded shofar is okay, especially now, right? So throughout the Jewish world, I've been inspired by the creativity and the kindness that has been applied to people who want to live a traditionally Jewish life, people who find meaning in traditional observance of the mitzvot, and how rabbis across the board, all denominations, have said, those things that we said you couldn't do it and it's trampling on the Torah if you do, God forbid. Well, we're going to chill out a little bit about that. Things like counting minion over Zoom, for example. Maybe it's illegal where you are to get 10 people in the same place. And so if it's not illegal, it certainly has been proven unsafe in many circumstances. So can you get 10 people together on a phone call? The answer used to be, no, it's not the same thing. And some people did it anyway. But now it's widely agreed that if it is saving a life, and it is, I'll go off on that rant in a minute, it is saving a life, then all the more so, not only is it just a leniency, you're ordered to. It's a mitzvah, right? As Michael Pacheco says, I feel like shofar is a talent some people have and others will never get. I know a kid who can blow shofar like Dizzy Gillespie, just a natural. And I know grown people, I can make a decent sound on it now. It used to be rubbish. Now I'm getting a little bit better. And some people just can't make that sound at all. But in this time, in this Shat Hadachak, this time of exigency, in order to fulfill the mitzvah of hearing the shofar, a recorded shofar is absolutely okay. In fact, there are some rabbis who may prefer it to the real thing, given the circumstance that not just singing has been proven to project droplets that are harmful for you, but wood instruments as well, or brass, blowing a horn. And certainly if you're blowing a shofar for a good sound, there are droplets. And don't make me get too detailed in that. But blowing a shofar, if you are in a place where you can hear the shofar being blown, and you're standing too close, that could be unsafe for you. So, pikuach nefesh, to save a life, hearing a recorded shofar may be considered preferable this year. Certainly, as we're putting together our high holiday programming, we are getting shofar, excuse me, shofar musicians, shofar shogud, who are going to get together in a park at a safe distance and pointing in different directions, and they're going to play their shofars, all the traditional notes that are included in the high holidays, and we're going to record that, and then during services we're going to play that recording, and that's how we're going to help people fulfill that mitzvah this year. So thanks for the great question. It's one of these, you know, for some people it's kind of it's not right on the surface, but it's for many people it's like a very important mitzvah to hear the shofar being blown. So in prior years there have been mixed opinions about recorded shofar. This year, in order to place life first, where I would encourage people to hear recorded shofar rather than one in person. So thanks for the great question. I hope people are now seeing the link to that app. If it sounds like your cup of tea, please sign up. Many of you I've learned with online before, and it's been a little while, so I'll be delighted to see many of you sign up for that, and you're most welcome. Feel free to participate in the chat. Feel free in the community forum. You know, some of these questions are going to be pretty personal. Not that I need to pry in your life. I got enough of my own life to pry into. That's what that's what Elul is for. So if you want to just take the question that I ask and think about it, that's fine. If you want to just journal it privately, that's fine too. If you want to discuss it in the forum, I highly encourage you to. But what I do, I was going to say insist. I do encourage you to do every single exercise. If you miss a couple of days, that's fine. It's all going to be archived so that you go back. If you sign up late, that's fine too. Everything that's been out there will be out there for you to sign up for, and you can see all the prior day's stuff. But we're going to drop a new one each day so that at least by the end of Elul, we are all on the same page, even if it's a web page, so that we're all ending the month together and beginning the holidays together. So with that, I'm going to close out this episode. I've really missed you all. It's been nice to get back. I know I don't forget if I was in the new Zoom background last time we were together, but it's always a delight to learn with you. I was really excited to share this opportunity with you. Even more excited to go finish the app so that we can launch it this afternoon. And I hope to see all or several of you there. Thank you for learning with me, as always. Thank you for showing up for this. And until next time, heroes, peace.